guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a quick update on Colleen Ballinger, the Ballinger family, and Trisha Paytas. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so tonight we're going to talk about Trisha Paytas, what she had to say on her podcast about Rosanna speaking out about Colleen Ballinger. I also have a very quick little update on the Ballinger family, and we're also going to talk about what is Colleen going to do as the end of the year approaches, because there's a very important date coming up for her future on YouTube specifically. But let's just start at the top. This came out late last night, and this is a clip from Trisha Paytas' podcast. She's talking about Rosanna Pansino, talking about Colleen. So let's listen to this clip, and I'll insert my opinions throughout.
It's just a lot, and yeah, I think a lot of people just, I don't know, need to give people a little break on the internet, because it's like what one person does, like other people don't need to make statements on it. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not your responsibility. It's not his responsibility. It's like that person's responsibility. Yeah. So it's like deflecting all this stuff when it's like, Colleen's the one who needs to take responsibility. Colleen's the one who needs to say something. If she can like send me an apology email, like she can do an apology video. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's wild. And every time I'd seen her since, we really didn't talk much about it, but just very briefly.
Yeah. So as far as Trisha saying people need to give people a break and all of this kind of stuff, yes, Colleen does need to take accountability and she needs to issue the apology. The issue with Rosanna, and the reason that people were upset with her, is because she was so closely aligned with Colleen, both personally and professionally, and she was crickets for so long. And then she finally talked about it, you know, and I've unpacked that in previous videos, so if you're interested, I'll link those down below. But it was such a delayed response, and like I've said before, we are not just talking about two YouTubers who did a couple of collabs together 8 years ago, and people are, you know, trying to like dig to figure out something. They were very personally close. They did much more than just collab on content. And when you have a sizable platform, in my opinion, if you are that closely aligned with somebody that is as bad as Colleen Ballinger, you owe it to your audience, and you owe it to, you know, a lot of people, specifically the people that Colleen negatively impacted, to simply come out and say, I don't support this, and I want everybody to know exactly where my integrity lies, and I'm being transparent, and I'm not going to wait months and months and months and then wait until people just won't stop asking me, and then I'm going to come out and say something.
Even like some of Colleen's victims too said, like, I don't care what Rosanna has to, you know, it's not like I care about what Colleen has to say,
yeah.
You know, so it's like,
but that's it.
It's also like, it's not just like an us, it's also like people who are actually affected, like the kids who are victims are also thinking similarly too. So it's like, I don't know. I feel bad for Rosanna in that situation, but, and also I'm just like, okay, Colleen needs to, I'm like getting sick of it. I'm like, girl, 6 months.
No,
almost.
It's crazy. It's crazy to not say anything. It's like she has to come back. Like she just will. And it's like, I don't know, when people disappear for a certain amount of time without like saying something before you disappear, like I effed up, I'm going to just like take some time.
I literally, at least,
a little closure for people. Like, okay, she knows that she did this wrong, so she's going to take time off.
Your last statement on this whole situation is, I'm not a groomer, I'm just a loser.
Yeah.
You're wild for that.
Yeah.
You're wild. Very incorrect.
It is crazy. It's crazy. I all of this, I'm just like, wow, like just acknowledge like this is a big F up. And like, yeah, everyone can come back. So like if you say that, like everyone come back. But when people just disappear and then they come back like a year later as if nothing happened, it's like, it's annoying.
I don't think that Colleen can say, you know, this is my fault. Like, that's the one thing that she has really skated around, is coming out and vocalizing how wrong she is in all of this. You know, do I think that anybody is gonna like pursue legal action at this point? No, I don't. But I also think that Colleen was most likely advised to not take full accountability. Don't admit all of this. Don't take full accountability, because it's going to be used against you. She has to have somebody in her realm that said something very close to statements to her. As far as Trisha goes, I want to say this. Trisha, while she was wronged by Colleen, is also not an angel. She has made statements that were inappropriate directed at underage people before. Trisha has been problematic before. Trisha, current day, uses her child for content. And I don't care if somebody wants to say, oh, it's so heartwarming. She is just sharing little bits and pieces of her daughter with social media because she's on social media. Guys, we have had that argument before. We have had that argument hundreds of times on my channel. Putting your toddler in, little outfits and all of this kind of stuff and putting them on social media, there is nothing heartwarming about that. Not today, not ever. And Trisha has participated in that. So while I can say Trisha was wronged by Colleen, I can also say that I am not a Trisha Paytas fan, nor will I ever be, because she has been problematic in her own ways. And just because she was wronged by Colleen does not mean that she doesn't deserve a redemption arc. Same goes for, I feel the same way. Like, once you are shown to be that bad, there is no coming back. It applies for me to Trisha, Colleen, family vloggers, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, James Charles. I don't care what they've done current day to try to clean up their act or whatever. Like, these people have hours and hours and hours of footage literally showing the world how gross they are. And for me personally, I'm not here to consume this content current day. I think that they are all problematic to one level or another. Some are worse than others, but I'm not here for it at all.
She just was like, if she just owned up to it and like said, I'm going to go seek help or, something like that. Like, and she went, and this whole 6 months, we thought she was like working on herself,
right.
It'd be a very different perspective, I think, but
I know.
We don't have that. So.
Yeah. It's weird when it gets like this, when it gets brought up again and you're just like, oh my gosh, like it is. Cause you do start to think like after a while, you're just like, oh, hopefully they can. And then you're like, oh no, actually they're like kind of and then you hear it from like a close friend where like she also was like lied to. And it's just like, why are you lying to like the people in your life? Like there is a problem, right? Like you're lying to me, you're lying to your friend, you're lying to all. It's like, oh, it's not true. And then like being exposed to this, it's like, and then her response to me being like, oh, I'm just a coward. And it's like, well, no, like there's issues. There's a problem. Like I asked you, I think Rosanna, she was very like, I'm very open-minded. Like just tell me like what happened. And she's just like, none of it's true. And then there's stuff that's true that comes out. And it's like, okay, it's issues. And then you're also blaming the kids. You're like, they actually, because I just remember, again, not to bring this up, but her being like, no, I remember I asked so specifically like 2 weeks before it came out. I was like, oh, like people are saying, you sent these photos or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, no, they would send me photos of you. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. And I would kind of be like, okay, I'd send like one word back. But then like, that's like the crazy part of the psychopathic part, because it's like, you were literally doing this. Like she flipped it around on them and was like, no, they were sending to me. And I was like, okay, I don't want to see these.
To blame kids is wild.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And I think that's why it's still so hard. It is like, no matter what, like I don't think about it like on the daily like I used to, but it is one of those things where you're just like,
once you start to process again, like it's totally the same.
Yeah.
Like once I really was thinking about like how she left everything off, I was like,
right,
that is actually banana. Like,
yeah.
You're just kind of sick.
Yeah, well, and your family's still on social media and stuff. So it's like you think you'd want to like try to make it a better platform so they're just like not constantly getting harassed.
Yeah,
and
like I can imagine what like Rachel's comment section is like. Like I'm sure
the Ballinger family, like your family has a family channel, and you're gonna like leave them hanging to be. I mean, I give it to them for keep posting. I don't know.
Why on earth would any pity go to the Ballinger family? Why on earth would anybody feel bad for the Ballinger family because of what Colleen did? Who cares if people stop watching a family vlogging channel? People need to stop watching family vloggers so that they can fade into irrelevancy. I get so fired up over this idea that literally there are people on this platform making millions of dollars because they show their kids doing the most unoriginal stuff under the sun. You have the Ballingers over there doing this Macarena challenge or some stupid, just boring dance. Like, who would care? Who wants to see that? It's only people that are parasocially connected to these children. And if people are parasocially connected to your children, literally, if you're still publishing content, you need to get your head checked. I think you are missing part of your soul. And I think that you need to seek help and sign off the internet. because you keep giving them the content that they want. It is twisted just because you're making hundreds of thousands, if not more money than that. The LeBrant family, the Ballinger family, the Ace family, Not Enough Nelsons, McFive Circus, the Doherty Dozen, all of these people, I think, are missing a part of their soul. It's weird. The Ballingers also went ahead and posted this like advent calendar that they had links to all the products so that they are making extra money on top of AdSense. Everything's the money train. Everything is how can we link it? How can we monetize it? How can we make sure that us parents don't have to go get real jobs? Because our kids run the show around here, and we have people who are uber curious about what clothes our kids are wearing, what their favorite foods are, what their favorite toy is. What a weird world. There was a comment that I came across on one of the Ballinger family videos where somebody was asking for Colleen to come back because they missed her. This was a recent comment. For y'all that are waiting for Colleen to come back, for what? Like, I get it. You get used to watching this person's content and then they go away because they were exposed as being a creepy weirdo, and you might feel like there's a little bit of a hole in your day, especially if they're a daily uploader. But I don't know, like, I don't understand how, unless you're a child and you just don't get it, how could somebody actually want to continue paying this person for mediocre content? Or are you one of those weird adults that just wants to see her kids? Because I think both are a problem. The last thing I want to talk about is there's been a lot of speculation on, will Colleen come back? Will she not come back? I have said maybe she'll come back with her fundraiser, her quote fundraiser that she does every year at the end of the year for her birthday. Will that be her comeback? Will she come back with a pregnancy announcement? Like, I don't put anything past the woman. And I have people that were really defending her when I said, hey, maybe she'll come back with a pregnancy announcement because I don't put anything past her. And people were like, oh my God, I can't believe that you would even say that because she had such a hard pregnancy and blah, 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 blah. It's just a thought. Y'all need to relax just a little bit. It's just a thought. But here's the thing. December 28th, Colleen Ballinger's channels will be demonetized because that will be 6 months of her not posting content. And if you go 6 months and you don't post any content, then YouTube will take away your monetization. So if she doesn't do it then, I don't know. You know, will she come back and because she at one point in time was a popular creator, will YouTube give her monetization back? Will she just say, you know, screw it, this is the end of the road and rely on other social media platforms? I guess, you know, time will tell, but I think that it's just really wild to me, the amount of grace that some people have given Colleen. Just the amount of forgiveness, the amount of, oh, we really want her to come back. We miss her content so much. That part kind of blows me away just a little bit, to be honest. There's not a lot that I get super confused by. But with this, I think that there are a few possibilities as to why people act like this. But I can't really put my finger on exactly what it is. But when I see people current day still defending her and begging for her to come back and post content, I just feel extremely let down by people on the internet. And you have the Ballingers still sitting there using their kids for content, and that's just like the world that we live in. Unoriginal, boring family vloggers that would be nothing without their children. And as I said, Trisha Paytas, I can feel bad for her for some things, but as an overall opinion on her as a online personality and online creator, whatever, she has her own issues, and I don't think that she's somebody that should get a redemption arc because of the Colleen Ballinger situation. But that's just how I feel. So either way, that's enough for today. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.